All right, here's our Bitcoin update for the night, everybody. Sorry, I had my speakers on. All right, let's break it down. So this is what we saw as the day began. Remember, it all started here. We started here this morning, 7 a.m., right? And I projected the right shoulder, and we would break down. We did it, and then we kind of hubbled in this area. So let's start fresh, right? So you can kind of see, and then, well, if we fast forward, then we also said that we'd probably go lower under the flag on like a smaller time frame. We made this tiny flag right here, and we dipped up out of it and then got rejected, came back down, just like some sloppy behavior. So, but we did get resistance. We broke the neckline of the head and shoulder. We made the right shoulder. That all happened as predicted, as projected. That still has a bigger measured move too, where you could say you're bearishly retesting it. So, all right, let's see here. This is the new shape we got going on. And honestly, this is a falling wedge now that does break up 68% of the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if this started to break out. Okay? Definitely something that could start to break out, in my humble opinion. So, and you have a really strong divergence. I mean, right here, not really. Not strong enough. But it is a falling wedge. Could break to the upside. Could easily break to the downside too, though, considered a bear flag, right? So you're kind of at a standstill. If you break up, you can get back to the high volume node and get through this gap. And if you break down, you're going to end up somewhere down at 20,800, 20,006 area, right? So what do I see happening? Well, the 1 hour really depends on what the 1 hour does. 1 hour has been overbought and has refused to reset for like a while now. Pretty strange. You know, it was resetting nicely and then it just decided to get pinned. And while it stayed up, it went down, right? So that means eventually, I don't like this behavior because eventually the 1 hour has to reset down. And you're making this like, right? So you're kind of setting up for another low, in my humble opinion. 1 hour's overbought and continue, coming down. Now, could the 4 hour take control and push us up? It could. It's overbought. It has a beautiful bullish divergence. It has a hidden bullish, and it's a very strong hidden bullish divergence. All right? If you take this swing to this swing, that's an uptrend. But if you take the same area, it's a downtrend, and it technically is a hidden bullish divergence. The bearish divergence played out. I've seen this many times. That should get a push. However, I've also seen it do this. So we could even go lower, and we'd still have hidden bearish, bullish divergence. So that's the one thing about hidden bullish is you never know exactly when the angle could, you know where it's at, but it's the area. So you kind of want to DCA into hidden bullish, in my opinion, on bigger time frames because you have a little bit of leeway in the zone. So that's the one bullish thing that has me going. In the 4 hour, the daily, and the 22, right? But the 1 hour is a no-go. It's been problematic for the last couple days. So what happens? What you do is you just set support or resistance. And right now, clearly, you have a new resistance. I get rid of this one. We don't need it. We have a new resistance right here at 21,800. If you can't get back above 21,800, expect more downside. So we need a crazy short squeeze tomorrow or into tonight to get us like back above. We have to break above this resistance here. So you got to get 21,008 and you got to get 22,005. Those two areas are must-have get-back areas for us to remain bullish. So I have to say that the probability remains that we dump to the downside tonight and into the morning. You're overbought on the 15 and the 1 hour, and you're not above a previous resistance. Slight double bottom, I guess, but this is also, look, a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time, and it has some bear flag feels. I tell you right now, the probability is that we end up somewhere here at 20,800. That's the probability, all right? I do see some bullishness, but the probability is the overbought stochastics on the 15 and the 1 hour. I trade those very, 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 very well. Now, we've also got below the 400 SMA. I always tell you, I love to open up a short the second we close a candle below the 200 SMA. And right now, in 35 minutes, you're going to have two candles closing below the 200 SMA. That tells me that we're likely to drop to the downside. You can backtest this theory and go over it. Every single time we close a candle below the 4 hour, dump right there. Close two candles there, dump. 2 for 2. All right, we'll keep going. Here we started to close 2. Huge dump, 3 for 3. Here we close a little bit, at least a slight dump. It wasn't huge, but we dumped from 19.3 all the way to 19.2. So, all right, tiny dump. That one was nil. We could get one of those. All right. This one, nice dump. So out of 5 now, only one didn't give you a short. Here's another one, candle close, nice dump. Here's another one, huge dump. Here's another one, dump. And here's another one, huge dump. And here's one kind of no, that's not the 200 SMA, sorry. Here's another one, huge dump. Are you convinced yet? Every single time you close a candle below, the second you breach it, and then you close a candle below the yellow line, dump. So only one time did we not have a dump. So this is bearish for Bitcoin. It's closing a candle below the 200 SMA. I told you that's when I would start changing my tone. If we got below the 200 SMA on the 4-hour, and then what we don't want to go below the 200 SMA on the daily. Like that's like we want to stay. We want this golden cross to stay. So a little dip would be fine. We could even bounce off the 50 SMA. But right now, the 1 hour does suggest more downside, and we're below the 200 SMA on my 4 hour. That's a known short signal for me. So you do whatever makes you happy, but I have to warn you that I see short. I see some short. I see short moves in our favor tomorrow. So or into tonight. And again, we could get a short squeeze, and I could be wrong. I'm not. There's no guarantees. There's a little bit of bullish divergence here as this slightly swings up, as that swings down. There's some hope. We'd have to get back above. If we close a 4 hour back above the 200 SMA, I'll flip bullish immediately. To me, it's all about the 200 SMA. Right now, I'm bearish because we're closing candles below the 200 SMA. The 1 hour and the 15 minute are overbought. And that's my update for Bitcoin.